quotations, not my official quotations. But however, my district and others would have to excuse me, and I'm unapologetic for 28 days. This is Black Power, and this is Black History Month, and this is 28 Days of Rage.
All right, we are broadcasting live from Lockstar's Natural Hair Salon in Minneapolis. So many of you know of Lockstars, and so we're going to get right to this. Also, Commissioner, we're going to continue pulling from the Locologist, Michael Kuykindall. He is working on his documentary, and we are so proud and pleased to play even a small part in this.
Yes,
and so when I thought about February, Black History Month, our history is 24/7, 365 days a year. So we want to take advantage of this time to be consistent in doing what we've pledged to do concerning our Black culture. Educate, engage, activate, bring about an awareness.
Stimulate,
resuscitate, revive.
Resuscitate, I like that one.
Revive, whatever and whenever it is necessary, because our culture is at stake. We kicked off talking about the ban on wearing locks, dreadlocks in the workplace. And so many did not know of that and still don't know. So we're going to continue to keep doing this. Okay, go ahead. Continue to keep broadcasting and bringing this to your attention. And as Brother Michael Kuykindall is joining us now, we're going to talk a little bit more. You know what? Can I get a round of applause from everyone here at Lockstars? Because absolutely. And listen, feel free to express that. When you hear something, if you want to do some snaps, you know, if you want to applaud, say what you need to say. You know what? We took the walls off of the broadcast.
Yeah, we did.
And in case you're wondering why there's a little bit of raindrops running along my forehead, my brow, it's because I'm extended. I'm extended. But it's beautiful here in the Twin Cities. The weather is off the chain. And so as our engineer is Facebook Live, we want to, and he's going to keep his attention on us so that we're all in the shots at any given time. But I want to say thank you, Facebook Lives. We're taking a little bit of time to let you join in. Make your comments. We want to hear from you. Listen, everybody talks about everything. Everything.
Everything political.
But everything political. But when is it our time to be able to talk about who we are in our culture, unapologetically Black? Can I get a hand on that or some snaps? Come on. All right. Wait, let's turn this way a little bit. You know, with your documentary, Brother Buddha was with us this weekend, Sunday, at the Bulls game, and I was hoping that he'd be here today too. But you know what? Just let's break this open. Why is this, number one, I put hashtag my Black, and also the skin I'm in, I love. And we have so many who do not, as Blacks, love the skin that we're in. We know how powerful we are. Just the very presence of two Black men standing together, having a conversation, causes such a tremor in the environment to others. Well, what are they talking about? What are they getting ready to do? I remember when I took on a position as a corporate recruiter, I was accustomed to running my own business, but I had gotten married, had a baby, etc., so I needed to change up a little bit. When I took that position with United Healthcare, responsible for staffing their corporate headquarters, they slapped me with, we've got to open up 4 clinics by January. And then they're looking at me. But I knew how to handle it. Okay. So It happened. But the thing about it, what I'm saying in that whole process is that there was a brother there, only one black attorney. And we started having lunch together. And there was this little rumble going on because he had some concerns about human resources, and he had some concerns about how he's being treated. And he wanted to share that with me. They just assumed that we were going to go into some kind of vote. So anytime we come together, for whatever the reason, Brother Michael, it's something about our collectiveness, our unity, our celebration of one another, that it means trouble. You talk to us a little bit, and we haven't even touched the hair. Look at these locks on this man. And we're going to talk about our
locks.
locks.
Look clean and healthy to me.
Go ahead.
I think what most people are intimidated by is they don't really know the different types of people within our culture. The culture that's usually glorified usually is the gang, drug, fear this person, you can get in trouble type of people. And that's in every culture, white, black, whatever race people want to say exists. That's in every culture. There's always good people, first as far as that. But I just think there's always this misconception about black people, especially black people with locks. They always assume that there's some drugs involved or some
YouTube
guns, always involved, but they never really know. I think one of the reasons why I'm starting a documentary is because there's a misconception about locks that needs to be addressed, and it hasn't really been addressed holistically, and
yes,
hasn't been addressed fully. People have written books and have done small things about it, but no one's never really broke it all the way down for people to understand, and that's where I think I fall in the position that I'm in here.
So your time has arrived. It's on you. It's definitely on you. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, that sometimes things happen and we seem like we're helpless, but we're full, but it's like, no, and you feel like, well, I know truth and I know information, but why don't I feel like it's time to pour it out? And then when that moment comes, Queen, you understand that. Then when that moment, when that baby in the delivery time is ready, you can't stop that.
I feel like I'm in a position to share the information that people need to know about what I know and what I've experienced for the past 19 years of having locks. And I think the story it needs to be told, and the only way it'll get out is if I do it. So I'm putting myself in a position to do it.
All right. What do you say the thought is right now? Because your documentary is going to continue to evolve. You've got an event coming up at the Machine Shop on March 9th, and you have invited individuals to come. You have celebrities, pro ballers, your clients, etc., that will share something as you lead and guide us in that, and there'll be more opportunities like that. But in the education of wearing our locks, our uniqueness, whether it is locks or the fro, short fro, out there fro, etc., what would you like to just enlighten us on?
Locks has been a part of society for a long time. Most people try to go and draw back to maybe Rastas in Jamaica or Bob Marley, or most people go back that far, but they go back BC, before Christ. They go back so far. They talk about it in the Bible. They talk about it. You see it as ancient. So I kind of want to address that aspect of locks for people, because most people think that it's something new. A lot of people think that it's man, a lot of people wearing locks, 2017 is real trendy. It was trendy when I started in 98 too. So a lot of people don't understand that aspect of locks either. I think it's more of an internal thing that's happening, almost like an unconscious consciousness. If you understand that in any way, I think it's just coming out of people.
More of an awakening.
Yeah, it's almost like an awakening in my eyes. And it's very interesting to see, and I'm excited to talk to people about it. I'm gonna talk to people that don't have locks. I'm gonna talk to people that have locks, people that had locks.
Right.
I'm gonna talk to white people. I'm gonna talk to Asian people. I'm gonna talk to whoever I can get to talk about it. I'm gonna put it all together.
May I point out something? Here's a thought, because I want to get rid of some taboos. I want to get rid of some junk.
Okay.
We got junk in the trunk, and I want to bust some of that open during this time. As an example, here's a dialogue. Got two brothers talking. One brother, the hair is flowing with the locks, etc. Another brother walks over, and that brother might be a little bit older, but they're still grown men, or maybe one's younger. And so the response from the older one is, "Man, you still wearing those locks? You know what? You're a man. You know what? You need to deal with that." And then the response later on from the other brother is, he goes and has them cut off. But it wasn't because he really wanted to. It was the junk that got presented. He was not celebrated for just being who he was, and when the time would come of that change or that transition, for whatever the reason might be, but not black on black criticizing in that respect. Then there was another situation. I'm getting some instruction, and so I don't know what I need. All right, so I need to speak up. You can come a little closer to it. That's not it. All right,
Speak up.
Gonna die.
all right, let's do this. Yes, and then when the other person came to the table, their response was simply this. When it came to women, all right, yeah, but my hair is nappy. Yes, and beautiful. Nappy and beautiful, if that's what you choose to say. But the point is, when we don't know who we are, and we don't know why we do what we do, then it is we become almost like an attraction for someone to break us down, and you're not able to expand on or expound on why you do what you do. Just as simple.
Because you don't know. So I mean, it's just like Brother Michael was saying, right? You saying people take on fashion, right? Just fashion. It's one thing when you wear something, you understand what you're wearing. It's like, make sure you know what you're putting in your mouth and understand it. So when someone tries to tell you and discourage you, say, "Hey, cut your locks off," you say, "I'm wearing my locks because A, B, and C, because it's more than a fashion." But if it's just a fashion, and you feel like that fashion is played out, then you're going to throw the flow up, and you're going to change up. And just to piggyback a little bit what you said, from my understanding, I went to Haile Selassie, King of the Kings, Ethiopia. But it also, like you said, is deeper than that it goes back to Rastafari. And I think that Rastafari is awakening a lot of people, right? And just from and excuse me if I'm naive in what I say here, is that I believe that there's a Christianity connection, a spiritual connection. And sometimes, it can have that domino effect, that one domino causes another domino to fall or to move. So Rastafari is awakening a lot of us. It's like rap did. excuse me. Remember when rap started awakening black young men,
Yeah.
and it was more social consciousness? Well, that's what the opportunity that Rastafari have. If you think about all the brothers that have, they're wearing dreads, right?
And I will be talking about the spiritual aspect next week.
All right, then.
Right, so stay with us.
With us. So that's the path we're traveling down, and I think that at the end of this road, that there will be a renewed spirit when we're done having this discussion about these dreads. Yeah, we started off about the color. You got blonde in yours, or blue, or are they long, or are they short? That was just the starting point. But I truly believe spiritually that there's something deeper to here where we're going to end up talking about how this connection with dreads has actually is a pivot point to lead the spiritual drive that's going on. This is a new awakening of our young black youth, and we can't allow them to cut off the dreads of knowledge the way we allow them to cut off the rap of knowledge.
Right. I would say I'm a hip hop. I grew up listening to, conscious hip hop. KRS-One, Wise Intelligent,
Salute.
Teachers.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that's what inspired me to initially grow my locks. I was KRS-One. That's who I.
Look at our production.
Yeah, I grew up watching him, and
all day.
I thought he was, a really good person, just based off of what I learned from him.
Yeah.
Growing up, and he really inspired me, and that was a really big part. And like in music, everybody know in rhythm, you can't deny what comes through that, and that feeds our soul, the rhythm and sometimes words that feeds our soul. I think that really made me initially start my locks.
All right.
But I think, like I say, it's an ancient thing. It's not like I said, it's before Rastafari, before Selassie, before all of that. People been growing locks for years. Usually the more spiritual people had them, people that protected the knowledge and people that, protected the gates of knowledge. Generally those people wore locks. For whatever reason, I'll get in more detail in that inside of my documentary.
All right.
Based off of the research that I'm collecting. I'm trying to get it all together.
There are clients here today, and they're friends of Black Stars. Is there anyone that would like to just say something? And the camera doesn't have to be on you because you're here to get your head together, so we're not going to show you, But if there is a comment that you'd like to make, feel free, let us know that. As an example, gentlemen, when did you start wearing your locks? If you don't mind throwing your voice, we won't bring the camera to you.
About 7 years ago.
Can you come just a little bit closer?
About 7 years ago.
Okay, and what inspired you?
The things that was going on in my life. It's like my health strengthened me because I was going through a lot of trials and tribulations at the time. And when I started off, it was kind of like you said, it was like a fashion. But I realized it was deeper than that, so I just stuck with it, and that's why they're still on my head to this day.
Now, like you said, you were going through something.
Yes.
Help some folks out with that, because folks are going through stuff right now, too.
It was a lot going on. I was living in Chicago at the time, so it was a lot. I lost my baby mother in Chicago violence in 07, 9/11. I was shot 5 times, and she was deceased. She was 8 months pregnant. Made the Tribune, and I moved to Minnesota. And she started off actually twisting my hair up in small dreads. So after the death of her, I just continued to grow my hair.
All right.
I got my son up here, which is 2 years old, and he's 12 now, and I'm gonna start him with some locks in a minute.
What kind of comments are made to you as a man when you encounter other races, etc., or even us? What kind of comments, whether negative or positive?
I really don't really get those type of, they look, when they turn up the cheek, though. For some reason, I feel like it's a threat sometimes, though. I don't know why, but they look at me like, like you say, you walk into a grocery store or something, and if you get behind somebody or something, they'll look at you real quick, but then turn their head, too, also, like, sometimes it's respect, and sometimes it feel like it's a threat too. So I don't know. It's confusing though. But the hair with the police situation, they automatically dreads pull them over. You know, they racial profile you in the gate with dreads. So I don't know. That's why a lot of people also was cutting them off because of the racial profile over there. You know, 2, 3 people with dreads, they consider you a gang now. So.
See, now you're talking truth.
Yeah.
See, this is the kind of thing that counterattacks who we are. All right, go ahead. That's it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you mind if we just show the back of your head? We won't show your face, but your locks are off the chain.
It'll be. I'm gonna do his hair.
Yeah.
He's gonna do. So he'll be here. We'll have a photo. We'll post some of the photos for the community, and so you can enjoy it. Just see what's happening here.
I actually wanted to mention my client that was on like the first week we had. She's a military.
Oh, give him a hand, everyone.
Yeah.
Give him a hand. He's there. All right. Go ahead.
She's in the military, and she was saying how she had to cut her locks off to join and all of that.
Yes.
And she sent
Last
me,
week?
Yep.
All right.
She sent me a text telling me that they're allowing women to wear locks in the military now.
And she shared that last week, and that's a breakthrough. That is a breakthrough. But the mere fact that when she...
Just what she sent me.
Oh, wow.
They actually made it legal that they can wear.
See, she
Yeah.
knew they were working on it. Let me put these on. Come on now. Okay, can you make it? Okay, where from beginning? All right. For those of you that are listening, and you were listening last week, right after the broadcast, we take our Facebook clips and we go to YouTube. Our channel on YouTube is GMN Live TV, just as simple. And there is a piece there that says Black History Now and Then. So check that out, and this will be there. Okay. And this is actually today part 4 of the series. So it says Army Deactive 2017, what is that, 03? Okay.
The military stuff.
Yeah.
If I could turn it to the
Yes,
side.
let's do that. Let's do that because we want that's what this is all about, bringing the fact to us. So it's no longer a grunt at the water cooler, because everything is political. No longer a grunt at the water cooler. You don't know what's happening. You don't know what to agree with. You respect the person that's speaking, but you walk away running misinformation because you didn't get the fact. You didn't get the email. You weren't on, you know what I'm saying? You didn't get the email. And so that's why we're bringing clarity. And so the young, beautiful black queen that was in the salon last week, it was interesting that as we were talking, she was able to share that when she went into the military, when they told her about her hair, it wasn't, we're going to shave your head. They made this, they had to put in there, in her scenario, because nappy, sticking together, and it's not clean. She said that out of her mouth. So listen to last week's show to get caught up on this. So was that stronghold that was confronting her, not the fact of shaving her head, because she already knew that was a part of it. They just had to put that piece in there, like intimidation, just that one little piece. They're not saying, they weren't saying that to others, just she's black and was wearing locks. Y'all understand where I'm coming from? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right.
So right there, female soldiers may wear dreadlocks, locks,
in accordance
with the guidance in paragraph 3A for braids, cornrows, and twists. So this is like a legal.
Yes, this is a
for
legal.
the U.S. Armed Forces
okay.
training. It's for the Army. It's everywhere pretty much.
Okay, so distribution. This went to the. They distributed this to the U.S. Army Forces Command, U.S. Army Training and Doctrine Command, U.S. Army Material Command, Army Pacific, Army Europe, Army Central. Okay, so they're serious about this happening. So this is going to be interesting, everyone. Number B, religious bracelets similar in style to metal alerts, missing in action. I'm not going to go into that because we're talking about the hair. Female soldiers may wear dreadlocks/locks in accordance with the guidance in paragraph 32A. Braids, cornrows, and twists. All right, let's give the military a hand for that one. And she's in, what did she say, the aspect of it? I can't remember.
She's getting ready to do, what do you call that, with the flying the jets.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. And so, and we want to hear from you, our listeners and our viewers. What's your experience? Engineer, are there comments being made on Facebook Live? Are there comments being made on Facebook Live? All right, so what I'm saying is that for those of you, make your comments. Say what you need to say. We want to talk about this, and we don't want this to become, in other words, this is not an accessory today. This is a lifestyle that you either choose and for life or under circumstances, and go from there. So we're going to continue talking here today. Also, coming up on next week, we're going to be talking about what has taken place, not what has taken place, but as it relates to our constitutional law, the handbook with the amendments, etc. And one of those things that really caught my attention when I took the constitutional law class is that the mere fact that slavery was abolished in 1864, I believe it was 1864, and then coming along, and it was 4 states. And okay, I don't have my phone with me right handy, but there were the 4 states, and so the one that we want to talk about next week is Mississippi. And so I have reached out to some folks there on the political end, etc. The mere fact that Mississippi didn't come on board, Commissioner, until 1983. I mean, hear me, y'all.
Wow.
Slavery was abolished in 1900s. All right? 1983.
Well, John Lewis still.
That's up the street, round the corner, a few blocks out.
It's not that far.
I have to keep saying that. 1983. Do you know how close that is, everyone? All right. Bottom line is, so what? And we're going to talk about the mindset and the atmosphere in Mississippi, etc. Those that are still there, as an example. And go ahead and give everyone on Facebook, YouTube Live, Commissioner.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just gonna pick up what Sister Starlin left off at and talking about slavery. I was just looking at something. Actually, the 13th Amendment has to be ratified, and it was ratified in 1865, and then it was re-ratified in 1995. So basically, every so many years, it has to be ratified, and if it's not ratified, then all you Negroes go back to the plantations. And so, with that being said, how are we still at this point of you still hold our freedom in your hand by the stroke of a pen?
That's right.
And yet we have this leadership that's out here. People like John Lewis out there talking about he got hit upside the head on the bridge. You should be hit upside the head on the bridge when we still got these kind of laws in place, and you jumping up and down about issues that are really not important. The most important topic right now we should be talking about is about coming out of this position of gratification.
Absolutely.
Where that kind of power still hangs over our head.
Important.
Still not free.
Most important. Absolutely. Even for those this is critical. I consider this to be #1 priority.
Yeah.
Look it up. Sister Sharon Brooks. She is the founder and executive director of Piece of Hope, Inc. And she's also sits at the table as co-chair for Minneapolis NAACP. And in her capacity, she deals with the criminal system in that respect, complaints and other kinds of things. But she teaches a class on Thursday from 5 to 7 at the Emerge Center in North Minneapolis. That class is free. I understand she's going to be coming here at Minneapolis Lock Stars. And I don't know the details of that, so I won't go there. But she can also be contracted, pay her to come and teach on your site and educate and get to the root of this information. See, because there are a lot of things that are happening when it comes to not understanding, Commissioner Kenya, your rights when you are arrested. Bringing that knowledge to the table is equally so. You know, I don't have my cheat sheet with me, but you know what? When it starts flowing, I just give it out here to you, and I'll come back and back it up. You better believe it. What I'm saying is that one of the things that there was this person who was always being stopped, car checked, all right, all of that, and so they couldn't find anything on it, and this was the feds, etc. So eventually, he was stopped, and they searched his car, and they found grounds to arrest him. All right. Now, because his people knew the laws, etc. See, when you do your homework, but you got to be willing to do some work either way it goes, for yourself or for somebody else or for your people. And